conversations with JT and Low. You never know which way to rhetoric. Classic conversations with JT and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. It's classic conversations with JT and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna. Classic conversations with JT and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. It's classic conversations with JT and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with JT and Low.
Yo, what's happening, people? What's going on? Y'all know what time it is. It is time for Classic Conversations with JT and Low.
And that's a cop.
Yo.
We good to go?
That's not the right intro.
Okay, all right. So yeah, man, we're gonna get this thing going, brother. Listen, you get a chance, those buttons on the side, if you're looking at this thing live right now, the people that's looking at it on tape delay, you can't do this. But the people that's looking at it live, there's some little buttons next to you. It's, it's a red button, it's a blue button, yellow button, it means get mad, get sad, you love us, you what is it? You're wowing at us. Either way, when you hit the buttons, it's gonna help our
algorithm
go up. Now, for the people that's on tape delay, I still want you to hit the like button. There's just one thumb. I need you to hit that. Hit that, and then you hit the other button, the one with the arrow. That's the share button. Share to everybody that you know so that we can get this thing out there. I'll give you the phone number, 404-500-1605. Angelo, how you feeling this week, bro?
I like that tape delay. That's all right there. That make you feel like you're really doing something. But we're on tape delay.
Right.
I'm good, man. Great week. Great weekend. It was dope at Uptown Comedy Corner, man. MJ, how was your week, brother?
Excellent. It's good all around week.
Hey, JT. And yourself?
Hey, man. My week was good, brother. My week was good. And today, I got something to tell y'all later on because I got some news today that was just, so nice. But as you can see, we have the lovely Dr. Cindy sitting there with us. What's going on, young lady?
Hey, all is well. Glad to be here.
How you feeling?
Glad to be here. I'm well. I'm good. Today was a good day. Had a good workout. I feel good.
Good deal. Good deal. That good workout part.
Yes,
Something I need to get in my life. I promise you I do. I'm dieting like crazy and still weak. so let's get this thing going, man. We got some crazy topics to get into, so we're going to get this thing started pretty quickly. Let's go with the Super Bowl. Of course, everybody was waiting for the Super Bowl show. Everybody was waiting for the halftime show with Usher. Usher. The guy in Vegas, Usher Raymond. You know what it is. All the ladies were sitting around waiting. But then Usher looked out for the brothers, too. He looked out for us. He brought Alicia Keys out there, y'all. Yes, he did.
Yes,
she had the big cape that was flying all over the stadium and everything. But then he hugged her. Uh-oh. Listen, y'all. I ain't got to tell you. Y'all saw it. If you didn't look at the game, you saw it by now. There's a different type of hug, you dig? So, we're going to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? So, where I was at looking at the game, this young lady, she said, hey, she started asking the men, hey, could Usher hug your wife like that? I'm going to tell you what I said. I said, yeah, he could hug mine like that. But just understand, we going to hang out afterwards on his dime.
Right.
Right. He can hug her like that. And again, I could have a different view because of the business that I'm in.
Yeah.
But ask a cop, what do you think about it, bro? What do you think about that hug?
That bodysuit was just... I don't think it could have been better if it was Megan, but I guess it was a performance. I guess that's how you got to put it. But they used to date, so
who used to date?
Beats,
Usher and Alicia.
Yeah, Alicia Keys, yeah.
We're gonna have to check with our
Is that
research
true?
team on that.
Yep.
Research team, y'all do something
Back
about
in the
that.
day, yeah.
I don't remember
Back
that
in the
one.
day.
I just
Back in the
remember
day.
that
Back in the day.
my boo, just the song. Yeah, we're gonna check that out. So we got a research team.
But
too,
Alicia
y'all.
was looking lovely. Her voice was good as always. Thighs was tight, nice, all around nice.
All right. Okay.
Well, she sounded good after the first note. The first note was...
Yeah.
She struggled through that one.
Yes, she did. That first one.
I didn't see the struggle.
But even if she did, when she walked sideways in that outfit,
Hey, man.
all was forgiven.
Hey.
Hey, it was like, oh, you didn't really mess up. It's all right.
I love seeing women come towards me, and I love it even better to see them when they walk away.
Yeah.
But I've never, ever said, baby, walk sideways for me. That woman was sexy walking sideways.
She's something else. And natural. She had no makeup on.
Cindy, you know, being a woman looking at this, and
Yeah.
you've seen the uproar on social media and everything. What do you think about it as a woman? Do you think it's okay for, as some people say, a married woman to be letting another man just hug up on her like that?
Yeah, I think they're entertainers. I don't think I think it was definitely a performance, and that's what they came to do. What they did. They came to do what they did. They didn't try. First of all, if you've seen every Vegas show that Usher has done, he's grabbed a celebrity and just really did what he did with him. So if you think about the video was kind of like that. I just think they came to perform. I think they did a great job mingling together, to be honest.
But you know, Usher could only get so close to it.
Hey man, Sean said she was singing with a question mark. Yeah, she was actually performing,
Right,
Sean.
yeah,
She wasn't just walking.
Yeah, she actually did. Yeah, she actually did something.
Hey, that's funny.
Yeah.
Hey, look, but you know, I gotta say, it was a serious hug. But you gotta ask, okay, well, if we just push it off as performing, then why he ain't hug her like that?
She had a guitar.
He could have got behind her in that guitar.
Yeah, he could have. But I think that was strategic.
That was that red
He was on
outfit. That man ain't no
it was
fool.
that-
And look,
That man said, "This my
And,
hey,
That
yeah,
guitar
hers-
solo was tight, but that's all it was.
but hers kind of he might have been thinking about Me Too movement, so he ain't mess with her because she a little younger.
No,
You know.
I don't think that had nothing to do with it.
I ain't
They
say
got
she
a
wasn't
hot song
grown,
out right now,
but it
and I
don't matter if
think-
you're grown or
That
not these
guitar
days.
was
If
serious.
That
you
was
40,
that red
if you
Right.
40-something years
outfit.
old and you hugging a 20-something year old,
Yeah.
sometimes you can look like you're doing the wrong thing. You ain't got to worry about if you're grown
Yeah.
or not.
No,
Yeah,
dude.
facts.
He was on.
You
We
would've
know
red.
that. We talked
You say it was
about
a
that.
red?
It was a red.
Yeah, shiny red. Shiny red. All right,
Sean
man.
said her wasn't having it. That's funny.
All right, man, so let's move on. All right. Shay. Shannon Sharp.
Well, can I ask you a question before you get to Shay?
Okay.
On Monique,
Yeah.
are we gonna we finish the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Because
Somebody got a comment? I ain't I'm not live yet, so.
we're not gonna address the shoving thing at all. We're gonna pass it over. Kelsey, get it.
Dude.
Are we gonna pass it over? Or
And
we
we
gonna-
can't just pass it over.
Okay,
we
go
gotta
ahead.
touch on it.
We on
I'll
Super
just
Bowl.
say
I just want
this.
to make sure we miss it.
If that would have been any player
Color.
would have jacked the coach up on the sidelines, they would have addressed it. If you notice, the cameraman was in on it, and they pulled off of it. I mean, that was just wrong on so many levels.
Win, lose, or draw.
Win, lose, or draw. That didn't fucking
So even if they
matter.
would have won,
Oh, come on, man.
No, I'm
Let
just-
that
I'm just-
in.
I'm just
Look at the way
asking.
they drilled
You know
T.O.
how-
back in the day.
But they lost.
But it doesn't matter, man. You don't put your hands on the
okay.
coach.
Now I was just curious whether or not we felt like it would have been different if
Oh,
they
hell
would have
yes.
lost the
Oh,
game. If they
hell
would have
yes.
lost the game, I think they would have made more of an incident of
Either
it. But
way,
because
it
they
was
won the
incident.
game, I think they just brushed
Somebody,
it
That
off.
that'd have been
somebody tried to
KD.
tell me that he was actually benched. I don't remember him being benched.
Who was benched?
They're saying that Kelsey was benched
Please.
for the second quarter.
No, that
I said, I don't think so. I just think
No, he
San
played
Francisco
all
was
the way
playing a
through.
certain defense on him where he didn't get the catches, because he came out with no catches in the second quarter. So people started saying that he was benched because of the push and the shove.
He did
Which-
sit down for a minute.
I was like, I don't think he was benched. I don't think there was no repercussions at all.
I don't know, if that was because of that, but he did sit down for a minute because I remember them showing Taylor and then the commentator mentioning her being so
But they were showing Taylor the whole game.
Yeah.
So,
right.
you
But
gotta
then
be more
they were
specific.
saying, but he's not even in the game, and they mentioned that. So I
I'm
don't know if that
dodging
had
the
to do with
question.
it.
It
The
ain't-
question was if it was a black receiver with a jacked up read on the sidelines, what would have been said?
You know what? I don't even think it's a
You
question.
don't think it would have been different?
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. I don't
They
think it's a
would've
question.
persecuted him.
I think it's just it's a matter of fact. It's not even a question. If it would have been somebody of color, he would probably be on charges. Probably would have done a killer
was
Mike
Probably
on
picked
him.
him up
That
on
was
the
a different,
sideline.
and that was a different game, Millennial. That was during the season when he took the helmet from him, when he threw the helmet. That wasn't this game. This game right here, nothing happened to him.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
Yeah,
to
they
him.
actually talked about it after the game. The coach said that he got me with a sucker punch. He caught me off guard, caught me off balance. And he was basically saying if I would have been in the game, you could have threw the ball to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead with Shay, brother. What you about to say?
That's what
Yeah,
he
that's a
said.
bunch of BS, but go
So
ahead.
yeah. Shay and Monique.
Another example of white privilege, but go ahead.
Shay and Monique. Of course, we probably gonna have to come back to this because there's so much to unwrap with that.
Way too much.
You know, Shannon Sharp has become, his podcast has become that space, and he's taking a lot of flack for it. I mean, he's getting a lot of good stuff for it, but he's actually taking a lot of flack for it also, and I don't think he can handle it. But in regards to Monique, is she actually believable when she speaks? What do y'all think? Because she has doubled down with her disgust for Tyler, Oprah, and or as she said, Tyler Perry, Oprah, and a few others. Yeah, she don't say Perry, she said Perry.
I think she brought out receipts this time.
Yeah.
That you have to believe some of the stuff she said. You may not believe everything,
Right.
but she brought out receipts.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And for me, it definitely gave me a different light because they trying to give they always been painting this narrative that she's so difficult to work with, and she may have, you know, what a lot of people in Hollywood have those, but she brought receipts this time. And the thing with Kevin Hart, you gotta ask yourself. You know what I mean? You know, he didn't respond. I mean, and he hasn't denied it. The thing with D.L. Hughley, all that whole thing was nasty.
That was nasty.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah. It
you know what I mean?
hasn't stopped.
And both of them are wrong. Both of them, neither one of them have any.
Yeah, that hasn't stopped.
But the thing with Tyler Perry, hey, she brought receipts.
Yeah, you did. In a tape conversation. So
Huh?
I listened to the tape conversation. She actually taped that conversation. And you know what I wrote when we sent the group text?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, she's bullshitting. I said, well, let me look at it. I don't want to look stupid. So I went back and listened to the tape. Oh, she's on point 100.
Gotta give it to her.
It's like, he's got to write that check. And she said it was $25 million. So, but I can see Tyler Perry's point because once you give it out, everybody's going to come out. Anybody that ever did a show for him going to say he was on the casting couch, you know, or something. So, but Monique has him on tape. She put it out there. He hasn't responded. Oprah hasn't responded. I think it's sad that everybody's tearing each other down,
There
but you
you
got to
go.
look at it. If I lost $25 million, these other ones are billionaires. Even if they take a little hit, they're still where they are. But with Monique, she lost the income, so I can kind of feel where she's coming from with that.
I think they fight trying to prevent themselves not being blackballed in the industry. So it's kind of hard for them to speak up sometimes. And when they do speak up, it's always years after when they should have. So we don't know if they've done NDAs or just anything that they've done. But she on a roll.
Yeah.
She on a roll. She like, nah, I'm tired. And I took a loss and I've lost enough. And so now here we are. Let's go.
All right, y'all. So stay tuned because, like I said, there's a lot to unpack with that one. We're gonna have to come back to that. There was just so much going on this week, and we had already thought about some topics. So this is why we're not really diving into that right now. But listen, we got some good stuff coming up. We'll be right back. Give us what do you say, boss? 3 minutes. We'll be right back. Nope, 2 minutes. We'll be right back. Classic Conversations with JT and Lo.
And that's a cop. Okay, I thought it was one of them pronouns.
No.
Don't say nothing crazy. We live. Don't say nothing
live.
else. We live. Look, I was like, don't say nothing else. We live. Classic Conversations with JT and Lo.
And that's a cop.
We back, you dig? Hey, listen, man. Woo, boy. Hey, listen, man. Again, people that's actually watching this thing live, I want you to hit those buttons. The like button, the love button. You can get mad at us and hate us. You can cry. I could say cry with us. You can cry. Either way, it's going to help our
Algorithm.
go up. I didn't mention this last time, but you should already know. I need for you to go to these platforms. I need for you to follow us, man. I need for you to subscribe. I need for you to share this thing. I need for you to go to YouTube. I need for you to go to Amazon Music. And I also need for you to go to Spotify. Come on over to TikTok and go and click that button also. It's not hard to do. Matter of fact, I've been posting You all get the scan code. All you gotta do is scan it, man, and it'll take you right to where you need to go. Don't take long at all. You're doing it for all these other people. Why not do it for us? 404-500-1605. All right, let's get into it. Some friends of mine, we talked about this, and as you can see, we're all live. You hear people in the background, man? We live. So, yeah, a couple of people, we had a conversation and we was asking. There was a lot of non-custodial men, and there was actually some women that were divorced, and started asking, do you stay in a relationship for your children? Now, is it selfish if you do stay? Because you could be selfish to yourself, you could be selfish to the other person. And also, is it selfish if you actually leave? Because now you're thinking of yourself instead of your children having a 2-parent household, that type of thing. So, what you think?
I can speak firsthand on that. I mean, I was exit stage left because if you, this is my take on it, so I'm not saying everybody, but in my particular case, all I wanted was my sons.
Okay.
Damn the relationship. And I think I can't say that because I probably would have stayed in it if I knew I wasn't going to get my sons. I probably would have stayed in it. But it's like, I just look at it differently. I think that your happiness means a lot because if you're not happy, you're not going to be able to make your kids happy. And then they're going to see you miserable, and then you're going to they don't need to see their parents argue. Kids need to see a healthy relationship, and if it's not going to be healthy, I think you should just shit can it.
You should. What?
Shit can it.
I thought,
End it.
I thought that's what you said. What you think, Angelo?
I mean, I could see it both ways. You know what I mean? I could see where there's a need where, you know, and I've seen people who have stuck around for the kids' sake. You know what I mean? Because, you know, it's like I say about kids in general, man. Also, kids just handle things so differently. Yeah. You know, I've seen kids completely fall apart due to the parents' divorce and their separation. You know what I mean? And, you know, failing grades, all kinds of things can happen. And so I think it's a very, very sensitive type situation. So, yeah, you could be, if it's just I think it's all about the kids, really. Yep. At the end of the day, I think if you know your kids as parents and you're in a situation where you all could possibly, you're still in the communication mode. I think when some people get into that divorce scenario, there's no more communication, there's no more anything, you know what I mean? And then everybody just kind of fend for themselves. I'm doing what I want regardless. But if you're still in a situation where it's still a comfortable zone and you have the kids at, you know, the other side, are we good for the kids together or apart? You know, because sometimes, you know, you need to separate because it's not good for that environment. You know what I mean? So I just think it's just, I can see it either way just based on the relationship that they have and the relationship they have with their kids.
Yeah.
What you think, Dr. Cindy?
So selfish isn't the word I would use for it. I think some people in relationships know when the breakdown started. It's difficult to have those conversations because someone's going to have to own up to being wrong about whatever led them down this path.
What if they never liked each other to start off with?
And that's the whole piece. So check this out. So people should not, and I say this again, I tell this to all my clients when I'm doing marital counseling and just empowering them. Why did you get married? Is the question you have to ask in the midst of conflict.
Let's say you're not married. You had a child together.
Right.
Do you leave or do you stay?
If you're not married, why are you together?
Because of the child.
But together in a relationship, living in the same house.
I mean, in today's society,
so we should stop
out of the relationship. Let's take it down to the bare
right.
bones instead of living together. Say out of the relationship.
Absolutely. So so if you're not married, you're not in the relationship, it should just be your co-parenting you should be doing. If you're married, you shouldn't be leaving your marriage because of, now if somebody's being abused, that's a different situation. If somebody's being neglected and mentally just transformed from this person they married to a different person today, we're talking different things. So it's all different entities. Most women stay regardless. A lot of women leave when they feel, oh, he cheated, I just can't get over it. But nobody ever wants to ask, why you cheat? Why did you cheat? What did you lose here that you felt you had in me to marry me to go here, right? And we know I've sat in front of a lot of men who said, she stopped letting me feel like I was needed. She stopped letting me feel like the king that I felt like when I asked her to marry me. And so when they go, mind you, right? And
You get
so I don't stand up and pee.
you
You're
giving some good stuff, but
Yeah,
we're gonna
but
get
when
into
you
that on the
get-
next topic too. So
Okay, but when you get into this thing and the kid is the last thing they think about. People are like
I don't think so.
When people are breaking up, that's so not a
But
factor.
the thing is, because they haven't broken up, is usually because of the kid.
No, I mean,
Because
and that's an
breaking
entity.
up,
Some
breaking
of them,
up
yes.
is one thing, but usually the reason why you haven't left, and I know what you're saying, marriage, of course. With marriage, you just can't walk out. There's a lot more involved.
Absolutely.
But if you are in a relationship and you don't break up, even if you're not living together, and you've been ripped and torn to a point to where at this moment and the next day, and this is on either side, woman or man, you can't stand that other individual. Something is keeping you there.
Why do the kids gotta stay in it?
Well,
People gotta start understanding.
We're not talking about the kids. We're talking about the adults.
But the reason that
So,
they're staying, right?
You're right, exactly.
Right?
So,
So if they
some of the
thought-
adults feel
Yeah.
that because we have so much in our community of single parent households,
Okay.
we have that a lot. The percentages are high.
Yeah.
Some of us feel the pressure of staying because we don't want to be that statistic.
Yeah, that's so low.
What's so low?
They staying because of the kid. I promise you, they not. They leaving. They having these two different households, and then they fighting about who gonna see them. They in child support court,
I'ma
wasting
tell
all
you,
that
Doc,
money.
I
When
know
instead
a
of just sitting down having
lot
a
of people
conversation.
that are still there. A lot of people.
Well, these age brackets, maybe our age bracket.
Well, yeah, it's hard to say with the young
It's hard to
ones.
say because the young ones. I'm telling you about.
Yeah.
Listen, I just had a client today, and without going outside, it's the simple why he can't see his baby. Why are you making y'all stuff about the kids? Like, people gotta stop making the adult stuff about the kids. If it's not about the kid and it's just about y'all, why you pull the trump card and keep the kids from the other parent?
Right.
That ain't cool. If it's about the adults, all right, it's your daddy weekend. I'm gonna holler at you. Maybe he gonna have to look for me Monday because I'm about to be gone. Or it's, come get your baby because this ain't got nothing to do with the kid. They gotta stop. They got to stop. The
That's 100 on
child
that.
is being destroyed because the parents are picking the battles the wrong direction. They putting the kids in it. So that's what makes it selfish. The person who is the
But that's after the
primary
breakup. But wait.
provider.
But that's after the breakup. I'm talking about the people that are staying together, not having to deal with is my weekend or next weekend or that. I'm talking about the people that's actually staying together, feeling that if I leave, my child now has to grow up in a single parent household. Am I being selfish for doing that because I'm thinking of my own happiness over my child's happiness?
I wouldn't call it selfish. I would call it responsibility to you as this dad. But here's that thing, that's why we go into that whole thing. We grew up, we ain't supposed to be shacking. So if you staying with somebody and you ain't married to them and y'all got a baby, that's part of that. You got to figure
I
that
get
out.
that,
So
but
you
let's
gotta,
face it, ain't none of us doing what we supposed to do.
Facts.
I know I've had sex without being married.
Yeah, all of us.
I mean, yeah,
every human there
so
is.
yeah, yeah.
But when it comes to being responsible, because you have this child who needs to grow up based on these morals and values that y'all both have to give, the kid ain't got nothing to do with why y'all fell out.
So is it irresponsible, since the kid ain't have nothing to do with it, is it irresponsible for that person to leave? We're going to take selfish out. Is it irresponsible for the man or the woman to say, you know what, I'm out?
As long as
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
That's how. Go ahead.
I think it's okay as long as you, because everybody, it's like, I know too many friends that stayed in a bad marriage, and when it ended ugly, and it was a lot worse than it would have been if they just would have, split
Left
up
earlier.
Because when you check out of a relationship, somebody normally checks in. And
yeah.
as far as the kids go, I can remember, just basically stay involved in your kids' lives, because I got partners I really don't fuck with the same way, because they literally left their kids and just got the hell on and didn't do nothing but send a check. Then I seen it the other way, where I had friends that wanted to see their kids, and it was made difficult unnecessarily, where he had to literally pay, I think the rate was like almost $100 an hour or $95. It was some ridiculous amount of money that he had to pay somebody to be there when he picked up his kids.
Oh, yeah, they get
what is that called when they have somebody there?
The mediators.
Mediator, yeah, had to pay for a mediator to see his own kids, and it just got to the point where financially it was difficult for him to see his son. Not that he didn't want to see him, but when you're spending $400 just to see your kid, and that's not even including whatever activity you're gonna do that day, that's not right.
And that's happened due to what she probably accused of or something.
She just threw some shit out there, and then once it blew over and she got somebody, I'm not gonna say the person's name, but once she got somebody, then I'll say, hey, come get this motherfucker, Then it's like, come get it. It's your weekend.
Because don't nobody want nobody else's kids. Don't nobody, and that's the thing about it. It's like, I get that you want to love as a woman. I tell women all the time, you better stop leaving them children, the fathers of your children. Don't nobody want nobody else's kids. Folks don't want their own kids.
But
So
there we go.
Yeah,
So,
so
what you
stay-
just listen what you just said.
Yeah.
Stop leaving them kids' fathers. So is that irresponsible for them to leave their father even though they don't want to be with the father?
So irresponsible is if you leave the relationship and don't take care of the kid. You can leave the relationship. You still take care of the kid. You can leave the relationship. That can end.
Maybe I'm saying it the wrong way, because I get what you're saying. You're right. It's all irresponsible. It's irresponsible on either party if you don't do your
Absolutely.
part as a parent.
And then I think another that you kind of what you're saying is if they're married or if they just have a kid together, because that is two different
Yeah, it
sides
is.
of the
So
person.
since we went with the bottom of it, let's
Yeah.
go if you're married. You're right. Why did you get married? There's a whole lot of reasons why people get married. But the thing is, you're where you're at right now. So because you're there, New Millennial said, due to inflation and the concept of cheaper to keeper makes more sense. When I was in the military and married, and I decided to end my marriage, my sergeant major told me that. He said, Thompson, I'm gonna tell you this, and I want you to think about it for 3 days before I put this paperwork in. It's cheaper to keep her. We didn't have children,
Okay.
so it was it was easier for me to make the decision. If I had kids, I don't know, I can't say what I would have done at that point. But if you are married, and let's say you've been married now for 10 years, you all had children at the 8th year, so now your child is what, 2? We're gonna say your child is 5, and you've realized this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. So is it, just like Asakop said earlier, sometimes staying together as a unit can actually be more hurtful to the child than leaving. But when you're in that space, how do you gauge your responsibility, since we took selfishness out of it, how do you gauge your responsibility to your child? Yes, child ain't have nothing to do with this thing, but the child is going to be the one that's going to be the most affected.
It's 100. And I'm just gonna stick with that. I'm old school. My morals are: it's 100% for the husband, 100% for the wife, 100% for the father, 100% for the mother. If it's a boy, boys need to be with their daddies. Daddies need to be around,
You
right?
about to start
If it's a
something.
girl, it just is what it is. And I tell women all the time,
About to
stop
start
taking
something.
them babies from them daddies because they need to have the structure. We don't stand up and use the bathroom. So when men put their pants on a certain way, even though you like how it looks, it's a certain way. You can't teach a little boy how to move his thing around when he putting his pants on. He need to be with his daddy. Girls, they need to be with their mothers. However, daddies need to teach a little girl how men are supposed to train her and teach her. And mothers are supposed to nurture their son to know how he should respect the women. So at the end of the day, it's 100 and 100, and the man and the woman should not. Because if it's not abuse and brutal mentality in the home, it ain't too much that you can't work out. But we come with these traumas
right there.
before we get into these relationships that's not healed. And people don't take the time to heal what they come with. So they create other stuff on top of what they got.
So with that, again, if it's not physical or brutal mental abuse, because you should be able to work through other things, where does the responsibility to the child come in at?
It should never leave because you're talking two different entities.
But
The
you're
parents-
married. You're married.
So you're married.
And your responsibility, because you don't want to be with this person.
Mm-hmm.
But the child is right here. Where does your responsibility to your child overweigh, or should it overweigh, what you actually want for yourself with that other person?
I think people should take the pawpaw syndrome. It's plenty granddaddies and grandmamas was in the house. We ain't know they ain't like each other. We just know they stayed in two different bedrooms. When we got over there, we didn't know they didn't sleep together. Most of us ain't at our grandparents' house at night. But Papa didn't leave because them kids needed him. Grandma's knew Papa did whatever he did. She was quiet and walked around. People make fun of her walking around in the moo-moo, cooking the food, even though she know he did wrong. So some of us has just changed our values to just go with new society. But a lot of us forget that it takes the whole household. The kids got a part, the parents got a part. It takes the whole household to understand the dynamics of your family, your bloodline, and what you need to handle. And if you don't instill that in your children, you know you're going to have them grow up repeating the same cycle of things that you did that was out of order. So everybody got a position.
How much time we got? Because I got so many questions. So in the pawpaw situation,
Yeah.
let's say if somebody today was living under the pawpaw
Yeah.
rule, just like you said, you could teach, if you stay around, you could teach your child to have the same values.
Mm-hmm.
So the values that you're teaching is, even though I'm unhappy and I can't stand that man or that woman, I'm here for you, baby.
I think as a kid, I don't really know what y'all problem is. I get so a certain age, kids ain't supposed to know. And when they get a little older, it's time to have a conversation with them so they understand. Because it's the children that begin to train the adults the proper way about love. Because we don't know. Now you making us pick a side. I don't want to be the ops because I really mess with my daddy more. He don't be yelling and stuff, mama. You be mad at him and then you yelling and stuff. And so I got to go to him, and then when you mad at me, you know he the disciplinarian, now you calling him on me, and he feeling like, dang, I don't want to do that because I don't really mess with the mama. But I got to train you right to be respectful to her. So it just makes a big mess when you all should just have a conversation on how the family's supposed to be raised. But the problem is, we want to talk, we act like the kids don't hear y'all yelling in the bedroom just because the door closed.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? We act like we don't know that.
So that's what I'm saying. How is being pawpaw, how is that good?
Because pawpaws didn't say much back in the day.
Well, we here now.
Yeah, they
We-
didn't
we-
say too
we-
much. They
we-
would
we-
sit there. That was meant to be seen, not heard.
We 20, almost in the middle of 2020 something.
Yeah.
So kids hear the argument.
Yeah, they hear it, and people include them in it. Then your daddy said, and your mama said.
Sometimes kids know when you're arguing and you don't say a damn word. They're a lot
Energy
smarter.
is-
They're a lot
energy is
smarter
what
these
it
days.
is,
A lot
yeah.
smarter these days. So
Yeah, it's what it is. I think you hit it on the target when Angela said the communication is so lacked in these homes. Y'all got to get back to talking about everything, the good, the bad, and the indifferent.
1 minute. Oh, no, we'll be right back. Hey, listen, we're going to be right back. But listen, y'all.
Read the
Y'all
comments
people
when we get
that's
back.
on that not live right now, but the people that's actually coming to look at this later, listen, go up in the comments and say something. You know, answer something to what we're talking about. We can actually come back. What do you think? Do you think it's selfish to stay or is it selfish to leave? We could talk about this at another time. Classic Conversations with JT. Hello?
And that's a call.
And we'll be right back.